Hello everybody, this is Sinan and welcome to my channel where only you have the power to build your world. In today's video, we're going to be talking about step number 2 that you have to take when buying your first rental property. So make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started with this video. In step 1, we have determined that the price range that we're going to be buying in will be $40,000 to $60,000. So for step number 2, we have to get pre-qualified from a lender, a bank, for this amount of money so we can continue to step 3 of the process. So how do you get pre-qualified? What are the criterias and what do you need to know? Before we start with step number 2, we are assuming that you have the 20% down payment already saved and that you have at least a 620 credit score. 620 credit score is the minimum that the bank requires to lend you money. So having a credit score higher than 620 will benefit you more. But if you have a credit score of 760 or more, you will get the best interest rates. But the minimum requirement is a 620. So you want to get pre-approved. First thing you have to do is find a lender, a bank, to pre-approve you. The best way to do this is just do a simple Google search, or if you already have an agent, which will be discussed in step number 3, you can ask an agent for some input. But for this example, we're going to go in order. So the best way to find a bank to lend you money is a simple Google search.
So I switched to this screen to make it a little bit easier for everybody to see what's really going on. So all you have to do is go on Google and type in mortgage lender and then type in your city and state. For example, we're in Louisville, Kentucky, so we're typing in Louisville, Kentucky, and you'll be able to see. What I like to do is I like to go down where it shows the map and just press more places, and bam, this will show you some of the mortgage lenders in your city. Every city has their own lenders. They all have also the national lenders as well, but this will show you a more localized lending source. For example, they show you Chase Mortgage, PNC Mortgage, BB&T Mortgage. These banks are national, so they're all over the country from East Coast to West Coast. But I tend to stay away from these banks simply because they're not fast enough. They take too long to close on a deal. There's a bunch of little hoops you have to jump through. I don't know. They seem a little bit too picky for me. But all these other banks that are more local and that specialize only in mortgages, they don't offer checking accounts, savings accounts, none of that stuff that these banks offer. So they're able to get you a better rate, faster closing, and a way more professional investing experience. So I tend to go towards some of these banks. And what I like to do when I'm shopping for a loan, you just go click on a couple of these, and if you look at them, they all have like 5 stars. So this tells you that people are satisfied with their work. And what I do is simply click on one, and then you just get their contact information, and you simply call them. I want to buy a rental property and I want to get pre-qualified. You'll be assigned a loan officer, and then they'll take care of you from there. I'm not promoting any of these lenders. I'm just showing you what's available in my city. And this is not all of them. There's literally probably 5-6 times more than what's shown on this map. You just have to change the search criteria a little bit and you'll be able to see even more. But there's at least 10-15 options right here that you can select from, and you'll be able to go from there. When you call them, they'll ask you what type of property you're trying to buy, how much money you're trying to lend, how much money you're putting down, a lot of information like this to make sure they give you the best loan. When getting pre-approved, the bank will require you to get a couple things. First, they will ask for your social, they can run your credit check, all that good stuff. But then after they run your credit check, they will need a lot of things from you. Be prepared to send them a lot of information. They will pretty much need to know your financial situation and your financial standing before they will give you any money. So I will show you an email of everything that they require. Some of these banks will require you to send a little bit more information. Some will require you to send a little bit less. Just depends on your situation and how well you are familiar with the bank and investing in real estate. All right, so I'm about to show you an email of what they asked for me personally. He asked for 2 most recent pay stubs. So this is pretty much super easy to get. So they will ask for 2017 and 18 W-2s. Also very easy to get. We're in 2019 now, so they will ask for the 2 years prior W-2s. This is pretty much to verify your income and all this stuff. All right, they will also ask for the last 2 years tax returns. And like pretty much they want the entire copy of your tax return, like every page. Color copy of your photo ID. If you go there in person, they'll make a copy of your ID on the spot. But if not, I just take my phone, take a picture of my ID, both sides, and just email it to him. 2 most recent bank statements. Checking, savings, retirement account, all that stuff. Let's say you have a 401k, a checking account with this bank, and a savings account with another bank. They'll pretty much need the last 2 months statements from all of those accounts. Also, your homeowners insurance. On the insurance, I do not send this information until I have an accepted offer on a property and before we go into underwriting and pretty much in the middle of the process of buying the rental property. After the offer has been accepted and everything is in good standing, then I call the insurance company and I get a quote and then I send it over to my lender. If you've been investing in real estate and you have multiple properties, you will need to send every single address, the purchase price, current lease agreements, a copy of the mortgage statement, homeowners, and property tax bill. And if any of them are in a homeowners association. So personally, I keep a spreadsheet of all my rental properties, like with all this information. Like literally, one property, I have the address, how much it makes, every month's rent, how much you made this year, all the repairs, taxes, insurance, like literally everything detailed in a spreadsheet. That way, every time I purchase a property, I do not have to collect 100 pieces of paper to send them over. I have everything ready to go. One click away, everything is sent, and I'm ready to proceed. All right, so here's a list. I'll probably have this list in the description below or somewhere in the comment box so you can get ready before you call these banks. So you'll be one step ahead. That way you'll have the fastest and most awesome experience. When calling these banks, here are some tips. Do not be afraid to negotiate. Ask for a lower interest rate. Ask for other options that they have that might apply to you. And shop around. Do not stick to one mortgage. Get a quote from this one. Get a quote from this bank and that bank. At least 3. Your credit score is there for a reason. It is there to be run so you can get the best rate. There's no point in having an 800 credit score and only going to one single bank and then just sticking with them without shopping around. Look at your credit score as a tool to get you the best interest rate. There you go. Step number 2, super easy. In step number 1, we have determined how much money we need for our property, and our price range was from $40,000 to $60,000. And in step number 2, we have contacted a bank and we have gotten pre-approved. So now we go on to step 3. But one more thing I would like to mention: when getting pre-approved, guys, as said in step number 1, our target price is $40,000 to $60,000. Try to get approved for at least 65. This way you have at least $5,000 wiggle room in case the perfect deal comes along that is 61,000. You'll be able to still purchase it. $1,000 is not a huge difference, especially when the deal is super right. So make sure to get approved for a little bit more than what you're actually planning. One thing I would like to mention, when investing in real estate, build relationships. The more relationships you can build, the more knowledge you will get, and you will be able to find the right people that can help you achieve your goals, and they'll be able to give you the best prices, the best knowledge, the best tips, the best information that you need to know to become a successful real estate investor. So build relationship, guys. Find one or two banks and stick with them unless they just charge you way more in interest than other banks will. But most of the time, if you find a bank that has a better interest rate, just let your lender know to see if they can match you. If they can, stick with them. Build that long-term relationship and have a win-win situation for everybody. Simple and easy, guys. Stay tuned for step number 3. And as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the links in the description. I have some information, maybe some of the banks I've used previously and some of the more national banks. So check them out. In the description box below, I'll have step 3 and 1. This way you're able to follow everything in order and get your first rental property. Peace out, guys, and see you in the next video.